Hey guys, so it's been a while since I've done an update for the shed build, and a while ago, this was back in June, I think it was June 30th when I was working on this last, I started to install the door and did a few other little things. So this is one of the videos I made back then that I was going to post in this video now. So this is how to install a door. So one of the things that I did back then was I installed outlets and I installed lights for the up top there. I spaced them accordingly between where I want to put the skylight. So it might have to be moved. I might even have to rewire it. But for the most part, that's what the idea was. And my helper, of course, was Quinn. She did not like to be sitting up there, as you can see in the next picture, where she is happy as heck to be sitting on the ground. And then a friend of mine took this picture of me scooching underneath trying to run wire, and that's me saying goodbye to Quinn for the weekend. Back to working on the shed.
We've got the light switch, so the door has yet to be installed, but when I walk in I can hit the light switch. The lights will then turn on. These are the vapor lights that I got, vapor sealed lights that I got off of Amazon. Obviously the electrical here is not vapor proof. Again, not sure why I bought those ones, but I did. So that remains to be seen. Otherwise, and there's two of them in here. Now, as per normal, I put an outlet by each one of these as the J-box, which to me just gives me extra outlets if I want to power an additional light, like a treble light or something of that nature. Again, I put it down here, which I will be using these two. I have some work lights that I'm going to put into here, so I didn't have magnifiers and everything. They're LED and all that stuff. So that's for this area across here. And again, this is all just temporary, as in I ran an extension cord for, well, this is a computer cord, but I ran the extension cord just to test it. So this is the way the light switch is currently. I have the power for the light switch coming into here, and that jumps off to the power for the outlets. And then that's what the switch interrupter is, so that's what you see all tied up here. Again, I'm utilizing a white wire, which is also wrapped with some black electrical tape, signifying that it's a hot wire. And then I just jumped it all back into the outlet, which just connects everything together and gives me the two outlets to plug in the two LED magnifier lights. I might put those in here today, and that gets it out of my room, out of the temporary office to the work office, which is what this is. Well, it's a work in progress itself. Anyways, we are going to get back to it. Here's something cool. You never know what you're going to find when you're looking for stuff. Is I found all the parts for my Power Fist wheelbarrow. I literally just bought a brand new one. I got a good deal on it though. I only paid $40 or some odd dollars for it. I think it was like 49. But I found the parts for this one. So I now have two wheelbarrows, which, well, I admittedly was the plan all along. But another part of this is I found some polycarbonate, vapor barrier stuff. But even more importantly, I found my my helpers. I used to call these guys my helpers. Sometimes I give them names like Scott, Chris, or whoever. But this one's the bent one, obviously. These will be handy when I finish up the downstairs and holding up the pieces of drywall as I screw them into the ceiling. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have finally found these. I've looked everywhere, up and down. So they are back within the repertoire. Anyways, these were two pleasant surprises. The vapor, okay, it's all right. But yeah, let's get back to it.
So now I have boarded in the one wall, and I'm not sure what I'm doing quite here, but I guess I'm saying, hey, we're going to be insulating this beast right here, and then we'll get on to cutting out.
Okay, so on the other side of this is where everything is already pre-built. I put screws in to strengthen the plywood, and then I screwed some screws which was a better way to say that. Put the screws through the plywood so I knew on this side where to put these screws going all the way out. Obviously that's where my cut mark was because I was making the 34-inch door perfect between the two things, because I want to put a small little shelf going across here on this side that'll house all my random screws. So if we go back over here, you'll see that where the trim of the door lines up is just enough space for the screws to sit. It's not really a big deal, but that's what I wanted here to go across, and then just kind of like all little trinkets and stuff. So on the other side, so much stuff to get rid of. This is the framed in portion. So it's all screwed and locked into place, and I made spacers for the header. Typically, usually I make the header and then I do the jack studs and everything, but in this sense, it doesn't really matter. It's just a shed and everything's all screwed into place. So we are going to cut this now and then push out the door.